It was too late to save her from herself. Very well. He'd deal with her and then send her on her way. He turned and sucked in a breath, momentarily stunned. A silhouette of pure beauty greeted him. Her midnight tresses were wound up and bound neatly into an elegant chignon. His fingers itched to unwind it and see it flow over her luscious curves. All of this, and he'd still not seen her face. When she finally turned to meet his gaze, he lost all ability to breathe. Those sea-green eyes kept him riveted in place. He should stand and greet her, but his body refused to function. She was the last person he expected or wanted to enter his home. What, no words? She raised an eyebrow. And I thought you were noted as the witty duke amongst the ton. I must say I'm rather disappointed. Grayson drank in the sight of her. He wanted to remember her as she stood before him for the rest of his days. She was glorious, proud, and fearless. Didn't your father teach you better than to enter the lion's den? He lifted a brow mockingly. You could very well get eaten alive. Her lips tilted at the corner. I rather like my chances. She moved further into the room. After all, I've tamed a lion before. There's a difference between a young cub and a full-grown male, Jules, he explained. One is more docile and willing to cuddle. The adult wants to be petted in other ways. He stood up and gazed directly into her eyes. A bite can be pleasurable or... Grayson crossed over to her side and leaned down, whispering in her ear. Or painful, depending on your preference. Juliet took a deep breath but remained where she stood. He'd give her that much. She'd always been a stubborn girl, and apparently she'd not grown out of that trait. If she didn't take a step back, he'd be forced to make a choice,